Jarvisbiker, August 29th, 8:01 p.m., 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Just got back from a ride to Port Carling, Ontario. It's about a 4-hour ride from Jarvis. Camping, vacationer traffic all the way. So for those that didn't watch the last video I put out, I had some adapter plates made for the foot pads of the GL1800 for the passenger foot pads to be raised, and I gave it incremental increases of 2.5 and 3.5. So the first night when I installed them, I put them on, and I had it so that the bolt pattern was switchable between the two, so I could tip the foot pad up from the second to the third level, which tilted the foot pad a little bit, so actually a considerable amount. So we tried that. She sat on it, but she looked like she was still reaching. Now, for the people that don't know, the Princess is a tiny lady, and so the Ultimate seat was an improvement. And I guess I should chronologically go through this. What we did was, before I had them made, I had the drawings made up out of my head, what I wanted. And then the first question was, she sat on the bike, and we were trying to figure out, is it too high, the seat to the foot pad? Is it torquing her leg, the weight of her leg hanging over, making her touch the foot pad? Is that pulling up on her hip joint? Because that's where the pain was kind of coming from. It was resonating as kind of a nerve pinch kind of thing going on, and creating pain and numbness in her both sides of her legs, and serious enough that she was starting to not want to ride, and that's a bad thing for Jarvisbiker. So I took the Ultimate seat, the seat itself, I left the backrest on, but I took the seat itself off and I put the original seat back on, and we went for about an 1.5-hour ride, and she was still hurting, but not as bad. She said it was a little bit better and able to last a little longer before the pain got to be too much. So back to the drawing board and put the Ultimate seat back on, and had a friend do a 3D model of the blueprints that I had sketched, and somebody else drew them for me, another friend, and then we took that CAD drawing and we made a 3D SolidWorks model of it. Took it to the local machine shop, CNC shop, gave it to them. They had a couple of questions. We fixed a couple of things on the model for them, and out of 2 raw 1-inch thick by 6 by 4, I think, pieces of aluminum, they modeled these plates. Now if you look at my previous video, you can see them in there, but you'll see them installed on this video. So yesterday was the big test. So we both had the day off work, and we had decided that we would go to Port Carling overnight, and everybody's gonna stay put here, settle down. I hate it when they start, you don't know whether they're gonna gun it or whether they're just creeping. You can't tell. Anyway, so we had the day off, and we had to wait for the rain first. Friday morning it rained. We left about 11 a.m. and we rode rain-free to Port Carling all in one go. We didn't stop for gas until we got there, and we topped up. So we got our motel room, and then we headed out for a ride over to Gravenhurst. So I'll show a little bit of that video. I was wearing the half helmet, so it's not the good camera running on the forward view. I apologize, but sometimes comfort is more important. So we rode all the way over from Port Carling to... We rode all the way over from Port Carling to Gravenhurst. Did a loop around through Gravenhurst and back to Port Carling. Beautiful twisties. A little bit more car traffic on the road than would have been desirable. We could have run her through the corners a little bit harder and nicer, so, but you get the gist of it. You'll see it in the video, and there's audio through the Sena audio pack, so it won't be quite as high a quality as on this camera and through this setup. But so back to Gravenhurst, or back to Port Carling for the night, and went for dinner at the Turtle Jacks right on the Lake Muskoka, and had a nice evening dinner on the deck, and then rode back to the motel for a good night's sleep, and up in the morning back to Turtle Jacks after the rain, and got breakfast, and during breakfast it started pouring, and we were like, I had checked the radar. If I'd have known it was going to rain that little bit longer, I wouldn't have gone for breakfast so soon, but the radar was showing me that there was nothing. We were clean and green, and within 15 minutes, and it gone to a slightly different location down the street. Re-looked at it again, and I saw this giant rain cloud basically hovering over us, and I said, it's going to rain any minute. So I went out on the bike and grabbed the helmets and brought them into the restaurant, and sat down, and we had a really nice breakfast, and then we got outside. It was dry, so well, it wasn't dry, but it wasn't raining anymore, so we wiped the bike down, and I asked her, the princess, if she wanted to don the rain gear now, and she said no, it's not gonna rain, and I was like, okay. So off we went, and 5 minutes down the road started pouring. We drove right under the cloud that was adjacent to us the whole time, and so then on went the rain gear, and we rode probably over halfway. We were on the other side of Barrie, Ontario on the way home on the 400 highway before we were able to take it all off. But windy, gusts, side wind hitting us the whole time. A little disconcerting to the princess. She doesn't like the wind blowing us around too much. No, we had the trailer on, and everything was fine there, and it was just blowing us sideways. There was nothing we could do about it, and so we left there at 11 a.m. and we got home about 3. Right around 3 p.m. we got home, and we had a little shower and a little rest, and then the princess had to go to work. So now I'm out by myself going for another ride. But so this adapter plate business was a total success. Like, just, and I wonder about some of the people that maybe had the same problem and just packed it in didn't realize that there was something they could do to help them, and they just packed it up, sold the bike, and they don't go anymore. And it's sad, because this is really a milestone for us, that because I was getting worried that she wasn't going to go riding anymore, and are we testing Jarvisbiker's slow maneuvering skills? Is that what we're doing here, yellow car? It seems like you're doing it all right. Yeah, there we go. Want to push? I can give you a push. So, a milestone. What are you doing? It's Port Dover. If you can't figure it out, go home, lay down. It's not that complicated. Didn't even stop. Good. I don't either, but when you don't know where you're going, you should really stop and suck it all in. Alright. So, a milestone in our riding career, and what I attribute it to is not just that her feet are up and her knees are up and her thighs are not, there's a gap under most of her thigh between the seat, and the other thing is that little camera issue, had to reset the connection on the Hero 7. Okay, so last night we were talking about raising the foot pads for the passenger on this Goldwing and how it was a success, and then the camera decided to, number one, freeze up, and number two, fall off my helmet. So after replacing the two-sided tape on the mount and clamping it overnight, we're back in operation again. So we'll finish that vlog and then we'll start a new one, being that the Boys and Their Toys riding group were out for another ride this morning. I'm meeting up in Dunnville in 35 minutes. I have to be there. So anyway, so the foot pad raising was an extreme success, and a couple of other things it does do, and I don't know whether anybody else has noticed this, but say you're taking off from a stop, you got your feet planted on the ground, and you start and you don't get your foot up, you catch it on the pavement or whatever, and you catch the back of your leg on that foot pad. Well, it's raised that foot pad up several inches that it's almost impossible for you to, in that situation, bang your leg on that foot pad now. It's up high enough that your leg bends kind of underneath it. So there's another plus for it. If you forget to put them up when you're riding single, and you know, you always thought they were in the way, now it doesn't do that. So I don't know how the finish will stay on the, because it's just bare uncoated aluminum, but I mean the bare aluminum on the bike is getting a little foggy as well, so I'm sure it'll blend itself in. Right now it looks like it's chromed, so as far as that motovlog goes, I think we're all caught up. Being that it's a success, if anybody wants a copy of the drawing, hey, just let me know. And I'd like my lane back, please. Thank you. And be more than willing to share the drawings. I'll tell you right now, the shop, they only charged me $250 for the machining and the material, but I know it was probably took them way longer than that in time to do at least the first one off. So be aware, you go to a shop someplace, unless you're friends with them and they're gonna do it on the tab, be prepared to pay a little bit for the first one at least, so they have to program it in and do it. Or if you're a little machine shop guy yourself looking for a little project, there you go. Alright, so it's Jarvisbiker. This moto vlog is ended, and have a nice day and stay safe and keep riding. Jarvisbiker out.